Sooner or later, it's going to say it's live. And it's live, continuing the building of a delivery app. And specifically with the shopping cart, the last video I started working on the view models. I completed just enough implementation for this categories view model, in which you load in the categories and they select the category and you publish that event. And application logic will subscribe to that event, receive the notification, and then perform a navigation to the particular category, whether it's foods or beverages. Um, so after you select the category, there should probably also be a search result. So maybe you already know what you want. Do you really have to drill through categories to go get it? And I would say probably not. So there should probably be a search on here where you have a let search value equal that right there, and it probably should be mutable. Okay. And we can then do something to the notion of no, I'm not sure if, yeah, I think sure search can be up here. So we have search value right here. Okay. And this search value can be like that. Okay. Uh-oh. Like that. Okay. Here. Okay. And I can bring that back, bring these forward, and search value is over here. Okay. Now what? We have a load here. And what else do we want to do? We already have a command called view, right? Can also add a command called search. Search, like here is another command, and that will be for search. What do we want to do? We want to essentially have some type of operation, maybe called let handle search. I'm just going to take a text and we call it string. And what we want to do is we want to we want to do a match for any of our products. In this case, how do you want to do this? We handle search, that's going to output what? It's going to output a product list. Okay. And right now, it's just going to be that. Now, if they do search, and they do a product list, then there is probably going to be a search value selected that we probably want to provide. So there's maybe a suggestion selected, or maybe it's just suggestion. And maybe that suggestion is going to be of type product. So I guess why not just call it product? Okay. And well, because it doesn't really read well. Categories, category, search value, and it's not really a product, right? It's a call it selection. Okay. So then we have a selection over here. And next selection, I guess, is going to be a string for right now. And or you could just say, shoot, there's a search there's a search value that they put in, and then call this a search result. And the search result is one of many search results, plural. Okay. And so that search result there, over here. All right. And from here, we can do something like this. And so how will this work? Now we have a now we have a, uh, we can say over here, type categories as X. Then we can have X dot search result. It's going to be equal to an empty list. Can I do that? No, it can't be that because search result needs to be a list of strings. So we have this is an observable collection string, but it's not really a string though. Search result is going to be observable collection product. And I'm not sure if that product is going to be a catalog of products for that particular name or the actual product. I think it's going to be a product category. And so product category is going to be something new where you're grouping something like Coke, and you have different types of Coke, cherry Coke, Diet Coke, Coke, 20-ounce Coke, 2-liter Coke. Yeah. So this is product category, and this will essentially have your product uh, non-empty, and that's it. Okay. So your product category has a list of products that are non-empty. Okay. So your search result is going to be a observable collection of product categories. Okay. And so this is now going to return. Oh, hold up. Let me think about this. Handle search is going to it's going to be a product category list, and if I do it that way, then this is going to most likely be an impure function where I can say that let me see. I can say that handle search is going to essentially do something like this. Okay. And so your x dot search result is going to be updated with the handle search based on whatever search value that's passed in, which now we don't even need, I don't think we need text in here because it can rely on the search value. So that's a unit. And so then you have this categories is going to have uh, some type of query product category. Or we'll just have a query in here. And then that'll be a query product catalog, which hasn't been defined yet. And so in the shopping cart over here for the specification, we're now adding another item in here, type. I already have it on my clipboard. Um, Query product catalog, or maybe I can just call it product catalog. How do you spell catalog? How do you spell it? Okay. And so this product catalog function type is going to, what is that going to look like? It's going to take a, it's going to take a search value, and it is going to yield a result of a product catalog that is of type list. This is not guaranteed to actually return anything. Okay. So now search value needs to be added, and we'll add a search value somewhere in here. I'll add it up here. Type search value equal search value of string. Okay. Okay. So now you have this notion of a search value, and type definition, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't like that. So do that. We don't have I thought we defined what a product catalog is, but we haven't. I thought we did. I'm almost positive we did. It is that's product category. Okay, so that's what I named it, a product category. So if I go over here, I can say that maybe product category like that. And call this suggest. Boom. All right. Suggest. And then you take a search value and it's going to return a list of product categories. Okay. Now, does it really need to be a list of product categories or just a list of products? Um, yeah, I think it's just a list of products now. All right, keep it simple. So you have a suggest on here that takes a search value and returns a product list. Okay. If we go back to our categories, then it's a, we'll call this suggestions, and then that will be a suggest. And that's part of our operations.io. Open operations.io. Okay. Call that suggest. Okay. How you supposed to suggest? All right, so I spelled that right. Now what? So that becomes product. This becomes product. Okay. And now what? Well, we say handle search. And so we want to say let suggestions equal. And then you say suggest and you pass it the um, in this case, suggest is supposed to, this needs to be implemented. Okay. Because right now that's just a function type that takes a search value. So say let search. Well, we already have the search value. Hold up. Well, no, we don't. Hold up. This is a search value right here. Okay. So we say let criteria equal. Then I could say search um, search value, and then it'll be the x dot search value like that. Okay. Now I thought I defined search value. Yeah, search value is over here. Shopping cart dot language. So I can say open shopping cart dot language. Now I have my search value, right? And theoretically, I should be able to do like something like this, like search to criteria types into suggest. Okay, I'm gonna call that suggest suggestions. Okay, which theoretically maybe I can just do something like this: search value x dot search value. I should be able to do something like this. I should be able to x dot search value um, pipes into search value, which is going to pipe into suggestions like that. Okay. And that's going to give me a product list. And theoretically, I should just be able to plug this in here like that. You don't like that, do you? Observable collection. of products. This is, oh yeah, okay. So handle search, we'll take that, and then hold up. Uh, I'll pipe that into a function that's going to figure out if it's going to be a error, which I don't know what to do if it's an error, or a okay. And if it's okay, it's going to be P for products. And then I can go and do something like this. And the P has a constructor value. Okay. Now what? Um, so now that that's in there, that's my handle search. Okay. Now if I do Control Shift B, I still need to write a test for this search. And I got some, okay. So load categories. So now I need to have a mock implementation. Give me a second. I need to have a mock implementation of suggestions. So over here I have let suggest implements suggest, which is then going to do a function that takes some search value as an argument and is going to return a, in this case, an okay, and it's going to give me a list of products. I have some I don't have a product in here. I don't have a product in here yet. Yes, I do. Some beverage. All right. Okay. All right. Control Shift B. So now I could go back to my test, and there's going to be a, if I go back to my test API, oh God, if I go back to my test API.language, which is over here, then I can say open test API.language over there, and then I can provide a suggest like that. Okay. Now what? Well, build, and I already had language over here. Okay, so that was worthless. Okay, so same thing over here, say suggest anywhere else, everything builds. All right, so now what? Well, I'll probably, now that I have that in there, I probably want to write a test for my search. So Control and most, collapse everything, add that in here. And then have a search for product. Okay. And so I don't even have to call load on here. I just need to do a view model dot search value is going to be some beverage dot name. Okay. And I should be able to pipe that into name from It's not in here. There should be like a value from name, value from name that I should be able to use that should be defined in my domain, my shopping cart.domain, but it's not in here. So when I look for my shopping cart, let me scope to this. When I look for my shopping cart, there's view models, there's a domain over here, and in the domain, there I need to add a value from name. This would be name, okay, and this would be name, okay. So now I can go back and over here, Control Shift B. Need to probably import that domain. So I say open shopping. Where am I at, Willis? Open shopping cart dot domain. All right, so we're good right there. Control Shift B. And maybe I just want to do this value from name at the beginning. Okay. And so everything builds. Now what? This view model dot suggest view model. Let me do something real fast. View model dot search result. Search result is observable collection. So then I could say any should equal true. Now, all I did right here is put in the search value. I then need to say view model dot and then say should be like a search in here. Search dot execute. Okay. And that should generate something. Control Shift B. And is that going to return a green passing test? Are you? No, you won't. Okay. So now we have the search value in here. That search.execute doesn't do anything because I didn't say handle search. Oh, okay. Control Shift B. And is that going to do anything? Huh? Are you going to do anything for me? And that is green. Yay. Okay. Now what? So that's search for product on whole name. But what if I want to search for product on a partial name? What if I want to do that? Search for product on partial name. And what if I just say, search value is going to be Bev? Okay. If I do that, the test should fail. And when it does fail, I can go into the implementation of handle search and I can, hold up. How did you pass? Oh, shoot. How did you pass? Search for product on partial name. Okay. If that passes, then let's have a sad path and say search for product yields nothing on empty text. All right. And maybe I should do a couple things. The for one is that should be false. Okay. And I should be more stricter about this search result. So search result dot single should equal um this is supposed to be product, right? And so it's supposed to be like some beverage. Control Shift B. That will fail. Okay, good. So now I can figure out why search for product yields nothing on empty text. And I'll put a breakpoint right here on search, and then I'll run in debug and handle search. Our search value is, uh-oh, will you let me hover over search value? X dot search value, boom, search value, okay. And then, so if I invoke suggest, that's going to return, oh, that always is going to return. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, I got it. And so I'm going to say something like, if, and now we care about the search value. And so we want to do let text equal, and then you say value from search value, and then you can say if text, and this is a string. Well, this is a string. Blah, 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 blah. We don't have value from text value defined yet. So in the domain, what's there a domain here? In the domain, say let value from search value, and that's going to be a search value v equal v. Then we have that over here. Look how pretty my code is. We have that over here. Okay. And so if we go back over here, we have if text, come back. We have if text that contain, how we do this? We can essentially have something like, you have this right here, and you say list dot filter, and then you can have function x. This is a product, right? So you say p, and then you can say p dot. I thought p was a product. P is a product. So I wanted to say like you have p, and I wanted to say that for whatever reason it's not giving me what I want, but I want to say like p dot name. I have another function in here where I say let f that, hold up, I have p, and then I say p dot name where I say value from name, p dot name, and then I say over here dot to lower equal, and then text dot not equal but contains, and then I could have text dot to lower over here. That's what I want to do. It's a site mismatch, and that's because of this okay right here. I got rid of that. Then okay right here, and I could have a let result equal that, and then I can say okay, and then pass the result in here like that. Like that. Okay. Um, I could just do that and do something like this. No, you're not gonna let me do that. Okay. So Control Shift B, value from name, p dot name dot to lower contains this text. And I think that should work. And it doesn't. Okay. Search for products yields. Hold up. Where am I at? Search for product yields nothing on empty text. And so now I go back and handle search. Invoke suggest. Remember, text should be empty. And then I have this value from name, which is some beverage name dot to lower contains text dot to lower. And the result should be nothing. Am I doing this right? I have only one item in here called some beverage. I piped that within a list to a list.filter, and I say that for each product in this list, get the name and see if the name of this product contains this text, which is an empty string. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe I should just check to see if it's an empty string, which like it doesn't contain an empty string. That's the part that I'm tripping on. But it returns one item. And that's the part that I don't really understand. Contains empty string dot to lower. So I can do something like this. I can say if text equals empty string, I can say if text equals empty string, then say okay, and then you just don't return anything. Else you do this over here. Okay. So now I can attempt to run this specific test. And okay, boom, boom, boom. And search result is 0. So that passes now, which means that hopefully, yeah, stop debugging. Or was that start debugging? Shoot, cancel. So now Control Shift B, all the tests should pass. And all the tests do pass. So I have search for product, yields nothing on empty text. I have search for product on partial name. That gives back something. Another one would be that search for products on non-existent name. Let me just call this um, non-existent. Okay, and we should say that search result dot any should equal false, like that. Control Shift B. And that passes. Okay. All right. So control, hold on, how to do this? Control MO collapses everything. Implemented search for product on whole name, search for product on partial name, search for a product on non-existent name, search for product yields nothing on empty text. Okay. And that is for category, which is what I'm currently working on over here. And so search appears to be partially implemented. I'll flesh out some edge cases when I actually do the UI. So that's categories. Oh, and when you, so that categories is going to populate the search result. And then the thing is on the search result, it should be this should be search results, like that. And then this should be search results, like that, plural. And bring that back. The stuff up here like that. Okay. Like that, that. Okay. I have this thing where I like my equal signs to be aligned. Okay. And it's complaining okay, because I'm missing an equal sign right there. All right. So now what? Well, now that I have that in order, there needs to be a search result that gets selected. And so there's a there's a search results. And that search result like that. And for that, the search result is going to be a product. So I can go ahead and add this and say that you are a product, my friend. But oh God, okay. So this is going to be a product option. And for right now, it's going to be none. Okay. And what am I doing? I'm tripping right now. Hold up. Start over. It's this search result right here that is going to need to take on a product option like this. Okay. And right now it's going to be set to none. And we put a colon right here like that. Okay. That's the search results like that. Okay. So that search result will be useful because I like having things lined up. That search result will be useful because in the handle search, we need to have a new command called uh, view. In this case, it's view product. Okay. So what's the other view? The other one is view category. All right. So now this is getting updated. View category like that. Okay. All right. Now what? Uh, that is going to essentially raise an event. So it's going to be like, um, it's going to be like product, or it's going to be like details requested, and it's going to take this x dot search result, which is going to be a uh, we're going to have to do handle view request in here. So you say handle view request. Okay, that is going to be its like that. That is going to be another function. Let handle view request another function, and that is going to call this details requested. But the only way that that's going to fly is if we have an instance of the search result, which means that we do a search result. You pipe that into a function, and that is going to be some. We could say none, which is not going to do anything, or we can have some, and then there's going to be a product in here, and so then we can say that we details requested of what of a product over here. And so this details requested of a product is needs to be in the form of an event. So we say let detail come here, stop. Let details requested equal event, and within that we can do something like that and then do something like that. Okay, which means that we need to expose that event. So we have another CLI event that needs to be exposed. And we have that over here. And so then we have a details requested over here. And that is going to be basically the details requested over there. And so that should be okay. But we need to say details requested dot trigger like that. But that's not being recognized yet. So why aren't you being recognized? Details requested. Boom. Um, I know why, because my syntax is off. Trigger, and then you do P in here. Okay. So Control Shift B, and that's giving me some errors. So this was view category. Okay, and that's probably what all the other errors are going to be about too. Control Shift B. Okay, everything built. Now, where am I at? I'm at my search for product on the whole name, and that's fine. So I should be able to write another test and say that this test is going to be a request details on search suggestion. Okay. And so that is going to, how's this going to work? This is our setup right here. And then we just have a view model dot search. We have a view model dot view product dot execute. Okay, that is going to trigger let mutable details requested equal false. Okay. And so then we can say that on our view model, we can say view model dot details requested dot add, and we can say that our function, whatever that thing is, is going to, in this case, it's going to be a product, is going to, but we don't really care about that right now, is going to say details requested. We're going to set that to true. Okay. So now we have our details requested, and we should say that our details requested should equal true. And then we can do Control Shift B to see if that test passes. We're at 42 tests. This should discover a 43rd test. It discovers a 43rd test, and that is not the case. It fails. And so, why did it fail? I did view product.execute, and I had handle view request, and that was supposed to take a search result, and it sounds like the search result didn't hit for some, it hit for none. So now there's search results, okay? And if I go back over here, oh, what I need to do is say view model dot search results will equal sum, and then it's going to equal sum, and then view model dot search results dot single, like that. Control Shift B. And that should go green. You should go green, my friend, and you go green. Okay. So that's pretty much it for right there. And that test is request details on search suggestion. Search suggestion was selected, view products, gets executed, a request comes in for that product. Okay. That's good stuff right now. I am terminating this session, and I'm out.